guys, that's your Comanche today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. It's going to be a good one. Oh, man, happy Independence Day for those of you in the States watching today. It is rainy, gloomy, thunder and lightning going on right now, which you guys know I love, so I'm in a good mood. Plus, my plans kind of got canceled for tonight, so here I am with you guys. No place that I'd rather be. I'm coming back from Seattle. I did Seattle Underground. I checked out some kind of grunge bars where Nirvana started to play, where Soundgarden. Anyway, I would tell you all about my travels, but we do have a quick advertisement in today's video, so I want to keep the rambling to a minimum. I just will preface, before we get to the ad, guys, I'll preface this video by saying that, man, I always complain that Plarium never releases good rares anymore, man, especially void rares. For the money they charge us for these shards, they ought to give us some freaking good champions, right? But the days of Cold Tart and Reliquary Tender are long, long behind us. Give us some good rares. They finally did, man. They finally did, and as part of this nut fusion. Are you guys going for this dwarf? Are you guys going for the fusion? Let me know in the comments below, guys. But I won't give you the big cliffhanger. This dude is so good, so special. Nobody can do what this rare can do, and it's Treeshield Knott. So stay tuned and find out why I love this void rare champion. All right, guys, so Treeshield Knott. First of all, he looks freaking cool. For a rare champion, man, they don't make rares like this anymore. He's got the face and the shield. He's a Sylvan Watcher, Void Affinity, rare support champion. So what does he do? Well, before we get to that, his base stats, 16k in the HP, pretty good. Over 1,000 on the defense, pretty good. 101 speed, pretty good. Everything's pretty good with this dude's kit, right? On this A1, he has a 3-time hitter. 3-time hitter, each hit with a 35% chance of placing decreased attack for 2 turns, albeit the small version. It is a very dependable decreased attack on a support champion with a triple hitter. You know, on Fire Knight, already out the gate, he's going to be a beast, right? Love that decreased attack, even if it's a small version, but the triple hitter +1, if you get Phantom Touch for Fire Knight, it's going to be great, right? On the A2, Treeshield's Favor. On a 3-turn cooldown, win book. Definitely worth booking this rare champion. Heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. Also plays the weak version of increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. Listen, if you don't have any version of increased defense on your team, the weak version is still going to be tremendous for your team. Don't scoff at the weak version of buffs and debuffs if they're on a champion that already is bringing something else to the table. You guys know me. The holy grail in this game is looking for a champion that can do multiple things all in one kit. Take up the space of 2 champions on your team. So he's got that, and heals all allies and AoE heal by 15% of their max HP. I'm going to show you in today's video why a heal all allies by even 15% of their max HP can be way stronger than people give it credit for. I think that for so long now we've been like, you know, we want it to be based on this champion's max HP, and while that is true, let me show you how this can still be an outstanding heal, way more than you'd think with 15%. On the A3, Root Rejuvenation, 5-turn cooldown, 2 random allies, 25% HP, 25% turn meter, and a shield equal to 20% of their max HP. So it's not the best revive in the world, considering it's only 25% HP and 25% turn meter. But I'll tell you what, guys, this is only the 4th rare in the entire game that can revive on an active skill, not predicated on like killing a champion or something like that, right? So only 4 rares: Gear Grinder, Reliquary Tender, and Grinner. If we take it really quickly, Speed and Faction Crypt is going to help a lot of people in Faction Wars, but this champion is more than a Faction War champion. Get to that in just a moment here. But really quickly, if we look at those rares, right? I mean, people forget just how bad it is right now in terms of rare revivers. We have Unbury, 50% HP, no turn meter, right? He's got a shield, right, on 20% of their HP. So a 1-turn revival on Grinner, actually a really underrated rare reviver in my opinion. And then we have Mr. Gear Grinder, right? We got Mr. Gear Grinder. I don't know why I call him Mr., but we're going to go with it. Revive a random dead ally, 50% HP, 50% turn meter on a 5-turn cooldown. And then, of course, who could forget, we mentioned her earlier, it is one of my personal favorites, Reliquary Tender. She has a 5-turn cooldown, 30% HP, 30% turn meter fill. No rare in the game has a double revive on 1 skill, or anything better than a single revive at that. And he's got it. right? The first rare to have 2 revivals. Might not sound like much, guys, but especially in Faction Wars, but really anywhere else that you're, kind of starting out, you need someone to pick up 2 when things really get going rough, when that Ice Golem comes down and smashes 2 or 3 year champions all in one hit. As long as you can keep good old Treeshield alive, he's going to pick up 2 random allies. Now, it does suck that they're random and we can't target them, but at least it's 2 revivals on 1 skill. I really, really like this, and again, with those base stats being pretty solid as well, it's truly the best rare that has been released this year. That's not even close. There's no one that comes close to this champion. And then overall rares, dude, unless I'm missing some, I guess Gear Grinder is kind of comparable, although I would take Mr. Treeshield. I love that he has the increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown. Again, it's not the big version, but it's a version, right? It's going to get more damage out of your defense-based damage dealers at the same time as well. So, man, he's going to be tremendous for Faction Wars. Of course, there's only 2 other revivers. There might be one that I'm forgetting, but off the top of my head, we have a revival over here from Weirinin Silken, and then we have, of course, Elva, right? But if you don't have those 2 champions, you might be out of luck. You might be SOL here, and we've got you covered with an accessible rare. Now, this rare is part of the fusion, right? So when can we get this rare for free or by doing other stuff? Well, it's kind of hard to read here, but let me tell you guys. Let me blow it up a little bit. How about that? We get a Summon Rush July 7th. We have a Champion Training Tournament on July 9th. We have a Dungeon Divers 3 starting on the 12th. And we have a Champion Chase Tournament starting on the 14th. Those are all your shots at getting Treeshield Knott. I would actually try to pick up maybe an extra copy if you can. Well, you can't really do that, can you? Because they only give you 4. Come on, Plarium! All right, so the question that begs itself is, what do we do about this in the fusion, right? Well, listen, eventually, I say that, I cringe as I say that because I know there's some people out there still trying to get their hands on Cold Heart. But eventually, listen, the pool of champions is kind of a good thing, right? The pool of champions, we already talk about it. Every time they release a new crappy Void Legendary, I'm looking at you, Angar, even though he's not a new release, right? But they water down the Void Legendary pool, and they're so hard to get anyway. But you know what? There's not that many Void Rares in the game. So I think we're going to get him eventually anyway, is what I'm trying to say. What I did is I opened up 40 Void Shards. That's how I got him. He was just one of the voids. There's not that many rares again. Think about all the times that we've gotten Harrier here on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, right? So eventually you can probably get your hands on this dude. Otherwise, anybody who is not fusing Knott, I would definitely pick up a copy of this champion. All right, guys, what I wanted to do is, I have him naked right now. And as promised, I actually want to show you guys what I was talking about when I was talking about those heels, right? Being a little bit more than meets the eye. So I have him, I guess, kind of naked. He does have some accessories on right now. I'm going to build him, but what I want to do is I want to start by using him naked, right? And I'm going to heal, like, we're going to put a champion. I have Mountain King exactly at 100k, just so we can kind of, judge the heals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just using the A2. We're going to test the heal. Then I'm going to pick up all the healing masteries. We're going to test the heal. And then I'm going to put him in a curing set on top of that, and we're going to test the heal. As I spoke about, I wanted to do this at least one video so I can always kind of look back or refer people back to it to talk about, listen, that 15% can actually be a lot more than 15%. So let's go ahead and try that all out. I will show you really quickly on Mountain King. I don't have him totally geared because I want to get as close to 100k as I possibly could, just for nice even numbers here. In terms of his masteries, I did want to go, okay, I don't have it, but I wanted to point out that Rejuvenation is not a mastery that we're going to talk about today, but increases the amount of healing and the value of shield buffs this champion receives by 5%. That can also boost heals on any champion, obviously, who's going to be healed, which happens pretty often here in the game. So that mastery out of the way, we'll talk about all the other ones as we go along here in this little experiment. Let's go ahead and do this. So let me go ahead and let's do the naked test first, right? Gonna go to Minnow's Labyrinth, we'll go to stage 15, who cares? We have them all ready to go. No aura necessary. I'm so happy they released another healer in this game, guys, seriously. All right, here we go. Heal number 1, boom, 18k. 18k, that's not bad. That's not bad considering we have no masteries. I wonder where the rest of the 3k came from anyway. Either way, 18K is going to be our base. Let's go ahead and pick out Masteries, right? Let's go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to pick out a Healer, Reviver, Masteries. This is going to be a safe bet for anybody using this champion at all, period, right? If you want to min-max his damage a little bit, meaning if you can keep him alive and you want to get a little bit extra out of this champion, I will say this, right? On his skills, his A1 is the only skill actually doing damage, but it is a triple hitter. It's attack base, and his base attack for a support champion isn't that bad. Let me take a quick look at his multipliers. A 1.4 average damage multiplier on the A1. Again, really not an awful idea to go ahead and maybe pick War Master up. I wouldn't really be building this champion with a 100% crit rate only for this ability on a 1.4, but considering he's a triple attacker, it's actually not too bad. Just wanted to point that out. You could get some damage out of this champion if you really wanted to. That being said, let's go ahead and first just get the Masteries, and then we'll put a curing set on him and check that out as well. So let's go ahead and get all scrolls. Let's come down. We're going to get my favorite Mastery build for a pure healer and reviver. This would not be a continuous heal champion. In that case, we definitely go get lasting gifts, although we can still get lasting gifts if we want to, right? Because we do have that increased defense in his kit. All right, so let's go ahead and start out with the basics, what we know we want. That's Healing Savior, that is Lay on Hands, that's Merciful Aid. We're gonna come down, pick up Spirit Haste as well, and then of course we're gonna end off with Timely Intervention, which we love on any reviver. If you're unsure of what mastery to go for a tier 6 mastery on your revivers, Timely Intervention is always a great idea. Increases champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally hero drops below 25%. Get him ready to heal, get him ready to revive if they die, right? So I will pick up lasting gifts now that I mention it. Extend the duration of that increased defense. And because he is bringing a buff to the table, let's go ahead and pick up Rapid Response as well. 30% chance to increase the turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expires. Now, I don't think I'm going to have many basic artifact sets on this champion, so let's go ahead and just do the defense tree. And I'm going to go with Tough Skin. I'm going to come in with Blast Proof as well, which is great. It decreases damage from AoE attacks by 5%. Sign me up. Resurgence, one of the strongest masteries in the game. It truly is. 50% chance to remove a random debuff from this champion when he loses 25% of his max HP from a single enemy skill. That is very powerful to have that self-cleanse built into really any champion, especially support champions who you want to remain un-CC'd, right? So let's go with Delay Death, and then let's come down and pick up, you know what? Picking up Retribution wouldn't be that bad of an idea with a triple hit or decreased attack on the A1. So let's go with Cycle of Revenge too. 50% chance to increase the turn meter by 15% when the ally is attacked with a critical hit. I think that's actually probably a better idea on hindsight, because critical hits from bosses in PvE, right? I mean, they don't happen often. It's usually a 15% crit rate on bosses in PvE content and raid, right? But when they do happen, it can be very, very bad. So it's a good idea on your reviver, your healer, to pick up that mastery as well. Let's just finish things out here. There's no stun, none of these CC debuffs, no reason to pick up Leech here. I don't want to pick up the extra resistance because we're only placing one buff. I don't think it's necessarily worth it there. I think I'd rather pick up Cycle of Magic, which I think is a very powerful mastery to have. And then we will end with, let's end with, you know what? Let's end with Rejuvenation. Increase the shield. You know, we have the shield that we could get to. Let's get the shield for the people that we revive, an extra boost there. So, wow, we went right down the left-hand side, which is actually, you know, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favorites to go on my healers and my revivers, or my healers/revivers. Dual effort. Let's go ahead and jump in here and do the same exact thing here, guys. Not even editing this video. I'm just going to throw it out to you guys. Am I blind? Yes, I am. Minotaur's Labyrinth. Here we go. Refill the energy. It's clan versus clans. I am... you can see I've been doing a lot of spider farming. Whoa, I think that's probably the most silver I've ever had on my account, guys. That will be gone pretty soon because I'm going to upgrade a ton of artifacts. So it was 18K. Let's see how much it is now. Ready? So 18K just with masteries, nothing else. Now we get 19K. All right, so we get an extra 1,000 with the masteries. Not too bad. It does add up once you account for all the champions on the team. Now that we have masteries done, an extra 1,000 on the overall heal, let's go ahead and put on a curing set and see what we can do. We will equip. Yes, we will. All right, so curing. I don't have a lot of curing gear, guys. I'm just going to use what I have available right now, right? Now, other sets to put on this champion while I'm putting this gear on him, speed, right? Speed is going to be a stat priority for this champion because we want them fast. They're a healer and a reviver. We want them going fast, reducing those cooldowns. Where is my curing gear? There it is. Other sets, reflex, right? They're only going to have one active skill off cooldown on that A2 unless somebody's dead. In both cases, we'd love to come back to that A2 ability. So reducing that cooldown by a 40% chance of, or I should say, of reducing is going to be extremely beneficial. So let's go ahead and equip this, and then let's kind of blindly upgrade it because we're in the middle of a clan versus clan and an artifact enhancement event. So let's just take it all the way to level 16. Not too bad, 111. We do need the accuracy for that A1 as well. That would be, up to you guys if you need that on your champion. Other than that, guys, what am I looking for in stats? As you can see on this helmet, some resist would be nice, right? Other than that, speed is going to be my top priority. And then lastly, I guess some survivability is going to be great. Now, this is a great shield here. You can see double speed, double crit rate. Okay, sign me up. I will note that, and this is what I do on all of my support champions, really, or basically any champion on my account, depending on how I'm building them, is I look at their defense and I look at their HP, especially my revivers, the champions at my cleansers, my support champions that really I'm going to be relying on and make sure that they stay alive. I'm looking at which number is comparatively higher on their HP and their defense, right? And in this case, they're actually really close to the same overall value. So I decided to go HP on, I think, all of my accessories. HP, or defense on the ring. So I went 2 HP and I went 1 defense, right? But I did get that nice trip roll of defense on that ring. So I'm also going to go with defense mostly, I think. I could also go 1 and 1. I guess what I'm trying to say here, guys, is even though we're not basing anything off this champion's HP, I like to divide my defense and my HP, and whatever percentage-wise doesn't scale as well, meaning let's just say he had 14K on the HP. I would definitely go HP as the main stats on my accessories, and then on the percentage where I'm getting more bang for my buck on the defense, I would go defense percentage, HP, HP, HP. Does that make sense for you guys? Think about whatever number is higher and then err on the side of percentage-based gear for those stats. Anyway, let's go back to the curing. Why did I close it? Who knows? What am I doing? Who knows? All right, let's go. We're back at curing. Let's just find some speed boots and be done with it. What do you say, guys? We got speed and we got a bunch of HP on this one. Sign me up. So again, speed, a double HP, 20% on the substat. Sign me up. Perfect. So now we have the curing set. The curing set is going to give us a 20% bonus heal. Also restores the amount of HP or destroyed HP equal to the bonus healing, which is really a nice add-on. Another buff to the curing set. It's not as crappy as it once was. I will give you an extra little caveat here too. Curing sets on champions with passive heals, like maybe a Rector Draft type champion, an Elva, a Sil the Drakes, a Siphi, those type of champions, consider a curing set on the long battles. That really does add up all those extra heals. All right, let's just go with speed, right? For the gauntlets and for the, what do I have right now? Of course, I have nothing I can use available. Take that back. Let's not go speed. Let's just go maybe Immortal. I think Immortal's a great way to, build a better healer. Gonna heal her up a little bit as well. So let's see what we have here for Immortal gear. See, with all my silver, I'm gonna take all of these shields and level them all up after this video is recorded. I've been really slacking on that. You know what, guys? We're just gonna slap this on defense percentage on the gauntlets. Sign me up. That's cool. We're looking for HP or defense. We got HP right here. A little bit of speed on this one. Let's use it. Let me just see if these level 12s or anything. What did I put? Defense? Yeah, let's go. So let's go defense and HP. Sounds great. All right, let's do this one right here. Perfect. All right, so this is our build, man. This is our build. We're done. So check this out. Almost 60K. Got a nice, healthy 2,800. So for endgame, I'd be aiming for like 60K and 3,000. But for everybody who's practically going to be getting usage out of this champion, and he's good in really any dungeon that you want to revive it, right? I think these numbers are great. I would be aiming for around like 45K at the bare minimum HP, and maybe 2,000 bare minimum for like the mid-game progression on this champion. Of course, scaling up the more that you can. And even this speed, in a perfect world, I'd have like 240 speed or even higher on this champion. champion, but we can get by with anything over 200 would be like my minimum threshold on this champion as well. In some areas, you might need more resistance. In other areas, you might not. 146 is not enough accuracy to dependably land that decreased attack on the A1, unless you're in, level like 14 or so, level 15, maybe get away with 16 Fire Knight, right? But you do get a chance on each shot. If we could bump that up to around 200, we get a much more dependable decreased attack on that A1, albeit again the weak version there. All right, guys, so those are the stats. We talked a lot about how we built this champion. Now let's see his final heal here, right? So we started with 18k, we bumped it up to almost 19k. Now let's see what we can do here in a curing set on top of that, right? So here we go, 22k in that curing set. So not too bad. It goes to show you the power of curing compared to just the Masteries. But again, I show you that to show that, we started with the heal that really out of 100k HP should be doing around 15k. We got 18, we'll take it. We're able to bump that almost up to 20, and then we bumped it a lot more with that curing set. So you can take even a 15% of your allies' max HP champion and get a lot more out of that champion, okay? And just using your artifact sets and your masteries on a champion, especially, considering it's an AoE heal, sure, on one champion doesn't seem like a game changer, like, wow, Ash, yeah, awesome, dude, you got a few extra 1,000 damage. But you add that up exponentially through every heal in the entire battle on all the champions, not just one, and you're talking about a lot of extra healage at the end of the day. Now, guys, let's go ahead and put some teams together. Let me show you this champion in, let me just show you this champ in, like, Ice Golem. Be right back. All right, guys, so stage 25 Ice Golem here. We have UDK, we have Mistrider Dathi as our debuffer. Any debuffer will do. We have Royal Guard, Dark Elhain would be a great sub. We have Archmage Helmet, Mausoleum Mage would be a great sub. And then we have the man, the myth, the legend here, bringing the increased defense, bringing the heals, and bringing the revives all in one. It's Treeshield Knott. Let's go ahead and see how this team can do. I don't feel like I need to show you the entire run, but let's just go ahead and start things out. You'll see that I have UDK in a very slow arena build here, not the end of the world. Mistrider Dathi, I have a guide on him in case you guys are curious on my second channel. Raid Champion Guides is the name of the YouTube channel. We're at around 150 champion guides here. But anyway, guys, I think we'll probably get through the waves fairly quickly here. It's the Ice Golem that I'm worried about because that dude can hit very, very hard. So I'll be with you guys. Unless we lose anybody, I'll fill you in. Otherwise, I'll be at you guys when we get to the Ice Golem. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go to the Ice Golem. Royal Guard did die, not once, but twice. But luckily, we had somebody to pick him up, didn't we, guys? All right, so here we go. Oh, man, I'm a little bit worried, not going to lie. A little bit worried about this squad. Let's see what we can do. The big thing is Royal Guard going to do a little bit too much damage that we can't keep up with him in terms of these counterattacks from the Ice Golem himself? That remains to be seen, but let's see. Let's see what we can do there. So you can see the resist on the decrease attack from the minion on the A1 there. Again, not going to be incredibly dependable landing all of those. We do come around. Mistrider Dathi is such a fun champion, man. I love that guy. Really, him and Ruella in terms of, and White Dryad Naya, I think those are my three favorites overall out of all the Sylvan Watchers epic champions. So far, so good. I don't want to count my proverbial chickens before they hatch here, but so far, so good. In all the healing, well, I shouldn't say all. UDK does have a little bit of healing in there too. But most of the healing is coming from one champion. All the support's coming from one champion, that increased defense. Again, I'll say it again to you guys, kind of like the inverse that we always talk about on Kurzad Depart, right? He has the decreased defense on the debuff, the weak version on the AoE, but it is on a 3-turn cooldown, and it certainly does come in handy in a variety of different situations, including even like early game arena. If you don't have any debuffer, it's better to have something than nothing, right? So another great example is Bellower, right? That dude has like the weak version of every debuff. Incredible champion. So don't be too dismayed by the, the two things that we spoke about, the heals, all the mastery help, the whole whopping 1,000 extra healage, and the curing set as well. And again, I told you guys earlier, but just to reiterate, relentless, reflex, triple speed, are all viable options in terms of my favorite sets on this champion. If you wanted to get super crazy and you wanted a Fire Knight specific artifact build for this champion, you could go like a 1 or 2 retaliation sets, now that they're a 2-piece, and get a retaliation on that triple hitter on the A1. We could go with Miracle Heal as a mastery, or we could go with Phantom Touch as a blessing. Miracle Heal or Phantom Touch on this champion. We could even go with the anti-CC debuffs. Nice heal came in clutch right there, right? We could go even with the I forgot the name of them. The blessings that both have the chance of denying the stuns and the fears and stuff like that. But check this out, man. That little itty bitty weak version of the increased defense and all those heals able to keep this team alive at least this far. Okay, Royal Guard does go down. It's okay. Let's go ahead and pick him back up. There it is. Root Rejuvenation. I like the name of that. I don't know why, but I dig the name of the revival there. All right, Royal Guard, anything but the big hitter. Okay, good. I want to maybe get one more heal in. There it is. So that heal came in pretty clutch, right? We're going to go ahead and stun that minion. One is down. Let's try to get both those minions down so we don't have to deal with the big one coming through, ignoring 100% of defense. But at least one's down, right? And I gotta say, you never know with the freaking Ice Golem, man. It could be like it could be right here as health, right over here. And then you probably had that happen to you, right? And you're like, I've got it, easy, my on full auto team, easy, and then boom, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. There, like that's sometimes what it feels like. He's got that wind up, dude, that you're just like, oh boy. So again, we lose our DPS, no big deal. Looks like we might lose our debuffer pretty soon as well. But so far so good, guys. I'll come back to, and again, I think I've illustrated where you can use this champion. I mean, where can't you use this champion is the question. With a triple hitter on the A1, increased defense, heal, void affinity, and revival, you can literally use him pretty much anywhere that you need that sort of skill set. You could even use him on the same team as another reviver like Soul the Drakes. That way you have a targeted revive, you have some passive heals, and their kits just go together really nicely. But whoa, what was I just saying, guys? What was I just saying? Luckily, he was still standing. He was able to pick the team back up. Oh, man. Whoo. All right, it got a little bit close, a little bit too close for comfort, but the revival came in clutch. He stayed alive. He healed everybody right back up. We are good. So, guys, I'll tell you what, man, don't sleep on this champion. Certainly a very viable, rare round of applause, if you will, to Plarium for actually putting out a good, rare Void champion in the game. And look at this, 1.5 million on the heals. No big deal, man. That curing set really putting in the work, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.